6th Dynasty, 2345 to 2181 before Common Era, Pharaoh Teti. An overview. Pharaoh Teti I, the founder of the 6th Dynasty, occupies a critical role in the annals of ancient Egyptian history. His reign, spanning approximately 12 years, is a significant period that bridges the end of the 5th Dynasty and the subsequent developments of the Old Kingdom's final phase. Teti's contributions, though less documented than those of some of his predecessors, were pivotal in shaping the trajectory of Egyptian civilization. His reign reflects a period of both stability and transition, characterized by administrative refinement, religious continuity, and evolving cultural practices. Early life and ascension to the throne. Teti's background and rise to power are not thoroughly detailed in contemporary records, but it is clear that he was a member of the Egyptian elite with significant connections. His marriage to Queen Ipit, likely a daughter of Pharaoh Unas, established a strong dynastic link and facilitated his ascent to the throne. This marriage was not merely a personal union but a strategic alliance that reinforced Teti's legitimacy and consolidated his power. Such marriages were a common practice among Egyptian royalty to secure political stability and continuity. The transition from the 5th to the 6th dynasty was relatively smooth, suggesting that Teti's ascent was supported by the key factions within the Egyptian elite, including the high-ranking officials and the priesthood. This stability was essential for the effective governance of the state, allowing Teti to implement his policies and manage the kingdom's affairs without significant internal strife. The orderly succession also reflects the sophistication of the Egyptian political system, which was designed to handle dynastic changes with minimal disruption. Reign and administration. Political structure and governance. During Teti's reign, Egypt's administrative structure continued to evolve, building upon the foundations laid by earlier dynasties. The role of the vizier, the chief administrative officer, was crucial in overseeing the various aspects of governance. The vizier was responsible for the administration of justice, the collection of taxes, and the management of state resources. This position was often held by individuals from the royal family or trusted nobles, ensuring loyalty and efficiency in the administration. The vizier's role was complemented by a network of other officials, including the treasurer, who managed the state's finances, and the chief judge, who oversaw the judicial system. The administrative system was highly organized, with clearly defined roles and responsibilities. This hierarchical structure allowed for effective management of the kingdom's vast resources and the coordination of state activities. The nomarchs, or provincial governors, played an increasingly significant role during Teti's reign. Their responsibilities included overseeing local administration, managing agricultural production, and ensuring the implementation of central policies at the regional level. The growing power of the nomarchs reflected a trend toward decentralization, which allowed for more efficient local governance but also posed challenges to central authority. This decentralization was a response to the administrative needs of a vast and diverse territory, but it also laid the groundwork for future periods of fragmentation and instability. Economic management and resources. The economic management of Egypt during Teti's reign was crucial for maintaining the stability and prosperity of the state. The pharaoh's administration was responsible for overseeing various economic activities, including agriculture, trade, and resource extraction. The efficient management of these resources was essential for supporting the state's infrastructure, funding monumental construction projects, and sustaining the royal court and religious institutions. Agriculture was the cornerstone of Egypt's economy, providing the primary source of food and revenue. The management of agricultural production involved the collection of taxes from farmers, the organization of labor for irrigation projects, and the distribution of surplus goods. The Nile's annual inundation was a critical factor in agricultural productivity, and the state implemented various measures to maximize the benefits of this natural phenomenon. This included the construction of irrigation systems, the development of agricultural techniques, and the management of granaries to store surplus grain. Trade was another vital component of Egypt's economy during Teti's reign. The state engaged in trade with neighboring regions, including Nubia, the Levant, and the Sinai Peninsula. These trade relations provided access to valuable resources such as gold, timber, and copper, which were essential for various state activities, including construction, military endeavors, and luxury goods. The administration facilitated trade through a network of trade routes and diplomatic relations, ensuring a steady flow of goods and resources. The Sinai Peninsula, known for its rich deposits of turquoise and copper, was a particularly important region for resource extraction. Mining expeditions to Sinai were state-sponsored and involved large labor forces and significant logistical planning. The turquoise and copper obtained from these expeditions were used in various applications, including jewelry, tools, and ceremonial objects. The organization of these expeditions reflects the state's ability to mobilize resources and manage complex operations. Architectural and religious contributions. Pyramid complex and mortuary temple. Teti's architectural legacy is most prominently represented by his pyramid complex at Saqqara. This pyramid, though modest in size compared to earlier examples, was part of a larger complex that included a mortuary temple, a causeway, and subsidiary pyramids. The pyramid complex served as both a royal tomb and a center for the king's cult, where rituals and offerings were conducted to honor the deceased pharaoh and ensure his continued existence in the afterlife. The mortuary temple associated with Teti's pyramid was an important site for religious activities. It included various chapels, offering halls, and storage rooms, and was richly decorated with reliefs depicting scenes of ritual offerings, the king's achievements, and interactions with the gods. These reliefs provide valuable insights into the religious practices and beliefs of the time, revealing the importance of ritual offerings, the concept of divine protection, and the role of the pharaoh in maintaining cosmic order. The pyramid texts found within Teti's pyramid are among the earliest examples of religious inscriptions in ancient Egypt. These texts consist of spells, hymns, and prayers designed to protect the pharaoh in the afterlife and ensure his resurrection. The pyramid texts provide a detailed description of the afterlife, including the journey of the soul, the challenges faced, and the role of the gods in the process of resurrection. These texts are essential for understanding the religious beliefs of the Old Kingdom and the role of the pharaoh in the afterlife. Religious practices and solar cult. Teti's reign continued the religious traditions established during the 5th dynasty, particularly the worship of the sun god Ra. The sun cult was central to the state's religious ideology, and the pharaoh was often depicted as the son of Ra and the high priest of Ra. This association reinforced the pharaoh's divine status and his role as the guarantor of Ma'at, the cosmic order and justice that was essential for the prosperity and stability of Egypt. The emphasis on solar worship was reflected in various aspects of religious practice, including the construction of solar temples and the performance of rituals in honor of the sun god. The solar temples served as centers for the worship of Ra and were often located in prominent locations, such as the outskirts of major cities. These temples were richly decorated with reliefs and inscriptions depicting scenes of worship, offerings, and the king's interactions with the gods. The integration of the sun cult into the state's religious practices had significant implications for governance and society. The pharaoh's association with Ra provided a divine justification for his rule and reinforced his authority. This connection to the sun god was essential for maintaining the loyalty of the elite and the general population, as it linked the king's rule with the divine order of the cosmos. The state's religious practices, including the performance of rituals and the construction of temples, served to reinforce the pharaoh's role as the mediator between the gods and humanity. Foreign relations and trade. Trade networks and diplomacy. Teti's reign was marked by an active foreign policy, characterized by trade, diplomacy, and military expeditions. The state's interactions with neighboring regions were crucial for securing resources and maintaining stability. Egypt's trade networks extended to various regions, including Nubia to the south, the Levant to the northeast, and the Sinai Peninsula. Trade with Nubia was particularly important for Egypt, as it provided access to valuable resources such as gold, ivory, and exotic goods. The relationship with Nubia involved a combination of peaceful trade and military campaigns aimed at securing control over strategic areas and resources. The exchange of goods and cultural influences between Egypt and Nubia contributed to the development of both regions and reinforced Egypt's dominance in the southern territories. In the Levant, Egypt engaged in trade with various city-states and kingdoms, acquiring timber, wine, oils, and other luxury goods. The importation of cedar wood from Lebanon was especially significant for construction projects, including shipbuilding and the construction of monumental structures. The trade with the Levant also facilitated the exchange of ideas and technologies, as seen in the presence of Levantine artifacts in Egyptian archaeological sites. The Sinai Peninsula was another key region for resource extraction and trade. The state organized mining expeditions to Sinai to obtain turquoise and copper, which were essential for various applications, including jewelry, tools, and ceremonial objects. These expeditions were state-sponsored and involved significant logistical planning, reflecting the administration's ability to mobilize and manage resources effectively. Cultural and technological exchanges. The interactions between Egypt and its neighbors during Teti's reign had significant cultural and technological implications. The exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies contributed to the cultural development of both Egypt and its neighboring regions. This cultural exchange was facilitated through trade, diplomatic relations, and military campaigns. The presence of foreign artifacts in Egyptian archaeological sites reflects the extent of cultural exchange during Teti's reign. For example, Levantine pottery and other artifacts found in Egypt indicate a flow of cultural influences and technological innovations between the two regions. Similarly, Egyptian artifacts found in Nubia and the Levant highlight the extent of Egypt's influence and its role as a major player in regional trade and diplomacy. The exchange of technological innovations also played a crucial role in the development of Egyptian society. The adoption of new techniques in agriculture, construction, and metalworking contributed to the state's economic and cultural growth. These technological advancements were often disseminated through interactions with neighboring regions and were integrated into Egyptian practices and traditions. Legacy and historical significance. Impact on subsequent dynasties. Teti's reign had a lasting impact on the subsequent developments of the 6th dynasty and beyond. His administration's efforts to maintain stability and manage the complexities of governance laid the groundwork for the later achievements of the Old Kingdom. The increased autonomy of the nomarchs and the growing complexity of the bureaucratic system reflected a society in transition, navigating the balance between central control and local governance. The architectural and religious contributions of Teti's reign, including his pyramid complex and the pyramid texts, continued to influence the practices of later dynasties. The pyramid texts, in particular, provided a foundation for the development of later funerary literature and religious practices. The integration of the sun cult into the state's religious ideology reinforced the role of the pharaoh as a divine ruler and continued to shape the religious landscape of Egypt. The foreign relations and trade policies established during Teti's reign also had a lasting impact on Egyptian diplomacy and economic management. The state's engagement with neighboring regions through trade, diplomacy, and military expeditions continued to be a key aspect of Egypt's foreign policy in the subsequent periods. The management of resources and the development of trade networks set the stage for future interactions with other powers and contributed to the state's stability and prosperity. Historical context and evolution. Teti's reign occurred during a period of transition in ancient Egyptian history. The end of the 5th dynasty marked a shift in the political and administrative dynamics of the Old Kingdom, and Teti's efforts to manage this transition were crucial for maintaining stability. His reign represents a period of both continuity and change, reflecting the evolving nature of Egyptian society and governance. The gradual decentralization of power and the increased influence of the nomarchs during Teti's reign foreshadowed the challenges faced by later dynasties. The balance between central authority and regional autonomy became a recurring theme in Egyptian history, with varying degrees of success and stability. Teti's reign provides valuable insights into the complexities of governance and the strategies employed to manage a diverse and expansive territory. The architectural and religious developments of Teti's reign also reflect broader trends in ancient Egyptian culture and society. The continued emphasis on pyramid construction and solar worship highlights the enduring importance of these traditions in the Old Kingdom. The integration of new religious ideas and practices into the state's ideology reflects the dynamic nature of Egyptian religion and its role in shaping the pharaoh's divine status. Conclusion. Pharaoh Teti's reign represents a crucial period in the history of ancient Egypt, characterized by stability, transition, and continuity. His contributions to administration, architecture, religion, and foreign relations reflect the complexities of governing a vast and diverse kingdom. The legacy of Teti's reign, preserved in the monuments and texts of his time, continues to inform our understanding of the Old Kingdom and the broader trajectory of Egyptian civilization. Teti's efforts to manage the complexities of governance, maintain religious traditions, and engage with neighboring regions were essential for the stability and prosperity of Egypt during his reign. The architectural and religious achievements of his time, including the pyramid texts and the construction of his pyramid complex, have had a lasting impact on Egyptian culture and history. Teti's legacy, therefore, is not only a reflection of his own reign, but also a testament to the evolving nature of ancient Egyptian civilization. This expanded analysis offers a comprehensive and detailed view of Teti's reign, providing insights into the political, religious, and cultural dynamics of ancient Egypt during this period. If further elaboration or additional focus areas are needed, please let me know.